Hi everyone, I'm Tyler Reguly, Associate Director of Security R&D here at Fortra, and I'm here to talk to you about the October Patch Tuesday. This record-setting Patch Tuesday included 196 CVEs, 175 from Microsoft, and 21 non-Microsoft CVEs. With so many CVEs, it shouldn't be a surprise that we had 5 CVEs with critical CVSS scores. But that's not what I'm going to talk to you about today. There were a few CVEs that I thought were really interesting, so I'm going to call those out instead. First, let's talk about CVE 2025-47827. This is a vulnerability in IGIL OS, which I had never heard of before and had to look up, and it can allow for a secure boot bypass. Now, there's a really interesting GitHub repo that's linked in the blog post with a really detailed write-up and disclosure timeline for this vulnerability. I think the important part of this vulnerability is that it's been public since May of this year, because neither IGIL nor Microsoft were willing to do anything with it or patch it at the time. It's actually really refreshing to see that Microsoft has stepped up and is addressing the issue now, but this does have exploitation detected, so you have to wonder if that's what was the driving force behind them issuing the patch. I also want to talk about CVE 2025-2884, a vulnerability in the TPM 2.0 reference implementation. Now, this vulnerability was first disclosed back in June by the Trusted Computing Group, who owns the TPM reference implementation, but there were also advisories from libtpms and also Intel. Anyone who used the reference implementation as their guide without addressing the vulnerability first will need to look into it and address it, which is why we see Microsoft issuing a patch now. Finally, I found Microsoft's solution to the two Gear modem driver vulnerabilities, CVE 2025-59230 and CVE 2025-24990, to be rather interesting. The vulnerability, which allows administrator privilege escalation, was not actually fixed, but rather mitigated. And the way that Microsoft did this was by removing the vulnerable driver from the system. Now, they didn't remove the file completely. Instead, what they did is they actually overwrote the existing Gear systems driver with a much smaller generic modem driver written by Microsoft. That's all I had for you this time. Once again, I'm Tyler Reguly, and this has been your Patch Tuesday recap.